Hi, I'm Jim Haadsma. I serve in the Michigan House of Representatives. I've served there now my sixth year. I'm seeking a fourth term. I, before that, served on the Calhoun County Board of Commissioners for 8 years. I'm a lawyer times 40 years. I've spent the last over 37 of those years working for a regional law firm, McCroskey Law. I have staffed the Battle Creek office of the firm since 2000, 1994, and have been with the firm since 1987. I'm a father of four, active in the community in any number of not-for-profits, from the Salvation Army Battle Creek Corps to the Art Center of Battle Creek to the Haven uh, Homeless Shelter Board of Directors. I want to run again because I think it's vitally important to the state that we continue to have a majority of Democrats in the House of Representatives. I can say that from the almost 6 years I've served. The first two sessions I served between 2019 and 2022, it often seemed like a 4 years campaign by Republican leadership in the Michigan House against Governor Whitmer. We often didn't get nearly as much accomplished as we should have. For example, in 2011, Governor Snyder and then Republican leadership passed a law which imposed a tax on senior pensions. Since 2012, everybody who's run for state legislative office and governor has indicated that one of their intents is to repeal the senior pension tax. In fact, in 2019 and 2021, a lot of Republicans and a lot of Democrats signed on as co-sponsors to a bill which would do just that. It wasn't, however, until we were able to attain trifecta following the November 22 elections that we were able to get something like the senior pension tax repealed. So there wasn't any political machinations anymore precluding that. We were able to get that accomplished right away in the first 100 days of what we did in 2023 upon commencement of the legislative session. And those are the kinds of reforms, and those are the kinds of policies that I wish to continue to ensure we get done. When we fell into a tie between November 2023 and April 2024, following a couple members of the House running successfully for mayor in southeastern Michigan, well, then we fell into paralysis and very little was done. Members of the House Republican caucus voted against bills of even their own members just to kind of continue a narrative of paralysis that they could use in the 2024 election cycle. Once we were able to return two members and gain majority 56-54 last April, we've again been able to get a lot done. We've been able to ensure that there are school breakfast and lunches provided to all K-12 students, and we've been able to pass a budget that is beneficial to all Michiganders this past late June. So I've served as an attorney for 40 years. I'm in my 41st year. I know how to get stuff done. I know how to negotiate. I have the skills in relation to interpersonal abilities to ensure that I'm able to reach across the aisle, that I'm able to get things accomplished, that I'm able to get dialogue and eventually consensus among many people. I think often too, the skills I have as a lawyer in terms of problem solving, the law practice I do is workers' disability compensation and Social Security disability for the past 37 plus years. Those same kind of issues that exist often while you're waiting for those claims to be resolved in dealing with clients are the same kinds of issues we deal with constituent services. I would say our constituent services department is second to none among the Michigan legislature. I'm proud of my staff and proud of what we're able to accomplish and I'm highly receptive to anyone who needs to reach me. My cell phone number is out there. I provide it to people quite freely, and I often get many calls. For example, during the pandemic, we were constantly, and I personally was constantly involved in hundreds and hundreds of issues to resolve pandemic unemployment assistance claims that were bottled up or complicated in some way. So I'm confident we can continue to work as a team in my legislative office to ensure that we get many public policies accomplished that are beneficial to Michiganders. And I'm also confident that we'll continue to provide the excellent level of constituent services to members of the district, other Calhoun residents. And in fact, I don't limit what I'm able to help someone do just because they're not in my district. Often I will help someone who calls with an issue, even if someone happens to say be from Coldwater or something like that, someplace like that. I think affordability of housing is one of the most important, certainly in the top three issues facing this district. We did appropriate this past June $100 million to affordable housing programs to ensure that there is a fortification of affordable housing in Michigan. Um, I believe that the way to best approach that is again to continue to invest in appropriations for affordable housing programs, work with MISHDA, work with home builders in relation to housing starts, and incentivize home or potential home owners to make a deposit and continue thereafter to live the American dream and build up equity in a home. I think that the president, vice president's um, prospect of providing a $25,000 incentive to would-be home buyers is a great start, and I'm hopeful we might even look at something, obviously on a more modest means in relation to the state. Another issue that's, I think, of utmost importance is fortification of public K-12 education. We want to make sure we continue to uh, fortify our public K-12 schools with enough resources to continue to provide the best education they can to get our youngest citizens prepared for college or some kind of skills training programming so they can get good jobs and stay here in Michigan. We do that by ensuring that we appropriate the ample enough sums of money to public K-12 education. Just recently, the week before present, so we're taping this on October 2, but on September 25, our House appropriated another $125 million to school safety and school mental health programming. Another very important issue in relation to how we proceed going forward in 25-6 is to ensure that we take a look at income replacement programs. So although our unemployment compensation rate is remarkably modest and demonstrates in general an almost full employment, we haven't had an increase in unemployment compensation benefits rates since about 20 years ago. They're still at $362 a week. I would like to have a program like that reflect inflationary pressures by being indexed to inflation because people just candidly can't live at $362 a week. So I'm hopeful that with some demonstration of resolve to increase numbers of dollars in a program like the Unemployment Compensation Trust Fund, we can do better than whatever the unemployment compensation maximum rate might have been in, say, 2003. Yes, I make it a priority. When I first went to House orientation back in autumn 2018, following the November 2018 election, there were many breakout sessions in relation to civility and collegiality and working across the aisle. I've done that throughout the time I've served in the House. I have a good relationship with Republicans in the House present minority, had a good relationship with Republicans when they were in the majority. I have been committee chair this session of two different committees, the Joint Commission on Administrative Rules earlier in this session, and continue to be chair of the House Labor Committee. I make it a point to uh, be very civil and polite in relation to our Republican members, make sure they're tipped off if in fact we're going to have something come on in the next 5 to 7 days so they can do their appropriate research on the issues. I am very respectful of ensuring that they're allowed to ask their questions and will continue to do so were I reelected and serve on a committee as chair, which I would expect, or a second committee as chair, which I did this session. So I think the economy doing that, I would reach out across the aisle to, and we did that in relation to a probate package, a wills and estates package with a wills and estates lawyer from the other side of the state. This session, we would continue to look at many opportunities to make laws with bipartisan participation in any kind of sponsorship of bills or sponsorship of a bills package. I believe it's really important to do that because otherwise we have the get them before they get you kind of rancor that seems to have typified Washington, D.C. in the past 8 or 10 years, and I think has even tainted Michigan legislative politics over the past 6 to 8 years. When I first got there, I did not think this was what we hear from Washington. I think the rancor has amplified a bit. I will do whatever I can to continue to work in a courteous way to ensure that that rancor is tamped down and we can continue to collaborate party to party on issues that are important for the state of Michigan.